My name is James Weiss. I run an advisory firm called JBW Advisory. I provide strategic coaching, executive coaching, and also executive management, mostly for relatively early stage companies in the media, technology, and retail and apparel spaces. So I originally joined Evisors purely because I was curious. I've been an advisor for different types of knowledge networks in the past, and somebody sent me an invitation, so I said, sure, I'll sign up. It took me a while before I actually really engaged in the network, but once I did, I got increasingly involved. So my experience as a mentor really started from the simple, send me a resume, talk to me about your career, and probably, honestly, the first thing, which was case interviews. You know, as a former Bain consultant, case interviews were just a very natural thing to be able to give. I'd done hundreds of them, and so people contacted me and started working with me on case interviews. Where it became more interesting and much more fulfilling was, as I started to do case interviews with some of the members of Evisors, it turned into much more of a mentorship relationship, where somebody would actually contact me and hire me for an hour, really to talk about first planning for an interview, and then longer term planning for a career, and thinking about where do I really want to work? Why do I want to go to McKinsey? Why do I want to be in consulting? What do I want to do from a career perspective? And that's when the process and the engagement with Evisors became so much more fulfilling, because then it was less about, I'm going to deliver you a case and this is what a case looks like, and much more about, I'd really like to help you in your journey, career-wise and professionally. Well, I was very fortunate. I went to Princeton. Princeton is a great school, but part of the reason I mention that is because Princeton is probably the most robust alumni association out there, or certainly one of them. What Princeton does really, really well is it's created all of these electronic tools. So the Princeton message boards, for instance, are incredibly robust. There's lots of traffic on them all the time. Evisors is a far more structured way to create every bit as positive an experience or more. Now, I know Princeton invests deeply to create that. For a university that doesn't have those resources, that even if it does have those resources, has never tried to do this, Evisors strikes me as a perfect plug-and-play way to enable a community to happen. And not just a community in name, but actually having transactions. And I don't mean that in a money perspective, I mean the transaction of, I need advice, I need mentorship, I'd like to provide advice, I'd like to provide mentorship. You live in New York, I live in Georgia. How do I make that happen? Evisors makes that incredibly fluid, incredibly simple, incredibly straightforward, incredibly, frankly, painless and frictionless. And as a mentor who's busy, who spends every hour of every day thinking about the projects that I'm working on, my clients, the businesses that I'm growing, the ability to do this in a simple way means a lot. Otherwise, I simply couldn't devote time and resources to it. With Evisors, I can.